reserve.
Follow football at all?
I do here and there. I never was ever a big football guy.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to play. My mom's like, "No, you're never playing. It's too violent." And I was just like,
my
"You know what? I'm not
mom,
going to watch this thing anymore."
So then you're watching it?
I don't really watch it.
Okay, nice.
Like a bunch of my friends in the group chat have like their fantasy leagues and stuff like that. I just never got into
Never
it.
appealed to you?
No.
Yeah, I'm big on the fantasy football thing for sure.
Who's your team?
Green Bay. Like I'm tattooed on me right here, the logo.
Nice.
Yeah, Green Bay
So
Packers.
is Aaron Rodgers still quarterback there?
He's still quarterback, yeah, but we're having the worst year right now.
Oh,
I think
wow.
we have like 4 wins, and it's like week 13 right now, so we're not making the playoffs. And he's almost 40, I think. I think he just turned 39 or 40, and everyone's talking about he's going to retire this next year. But we're in a rebuild phase. We have no veterans in terms of our receivers. And he's not playing good right now, so a lot of people he needs to kind of get out and bring in the next young blood. But it's like he's been the heart and soul of our team for the longest.
But when did he sign that huge contract? Was it last year?
That was last year.
For what was it? 4 years?
I think it was a 4-year contract.
So
I mean, I don't know if he's going to honor it or if he's going to be like, you know what, I'm out of here too because the team's not doing nothing.
Yeah.
He has that option too. You know what I mean?
no Super Bowl wins.
One.
Oh yeah, he does. He does have one. Yes,
But
yes.
he had it in his third or fourth years.
Yes,
So
I remember
the
that.
last few years we made it to the NFC Championship, but we
Yeah.
haven't been able to get over that hump to actually get back in the Super Bowl in order to win another one. So everyone's kind of like, the general manager of the team really squandered his abilities. You know what I mean? As a great quarterback for all these years, and it's like now what? You know?
Yeah.
So it's a tough one for us, for sure.
Yeah, I started watching a little bit more and more. Like, I watch the big games. I'll watch like the Super Bowl, and I'll watch the playoff games.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, like with the kind of life I'm living now, I don't really have time for sports.
No time for it, yeah.
I try to watch on the replay if I can. Like we try to watch the World Cup stuff, but I'll just watch on the replay or watch it sped up a little bit just to see the goals and what happened.
The highlights or something. Yeah. No doubt.
So what happened? What ended up happening with the race war then at McNabb? What was the result?
Oh my God! So we found out who did it. There's a few skinheads that went there at the time, and I was at grade 9 at the time, so I was a little kid. But there was actually there was a row of lockers on the second floor, and they called it the Black Alley. So all the older dudes in grade 12 and 13 made sure their lockers are all there.
Yeah.
So when all the dudes in the Black Alley found out who it was, they confronted him and they stomped the living shit out of this guy. Like he took the licks, bro. And I was a little kid, and I was like, they're not gonna throw my little kicks in there. Like, yeah, take that. But and from that, there was no more outbreaks of racism. But it was nuts, man. It was like, it was so surreal when it was happening because I was so young and naive. But then I still have enough consciousness to know that there's gonna be racism between black and white people. So to be a part of it was really weird when it was happening. But it was intense, man. It was super intense.
Yeah, the only real intense one that it was probably like 2. So one was when I was in college, probably my third year. Yeah, third year in college, going to a school in South Carolina. No, it was 4th year college, going to school in Tennessee. One of my buddies played on, not a rival school, but a school that we're going to go to that was deep in the southern part of Tennessee. And he was actually accused, and he was innocent because he was found innocent later. He was actually accused of raping a white girl on the volleyball team on campus.
Wow.
So they were so deep in the South that our game got postponed because the KKK rallied and said they'd be showing up on campus to do a rally and find this kid.
Wow.
And it got so deep and crazy that he had to just forego a scholarship and go back home. Because that's how crazy it got.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's like a movie, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah, the Klan showed up at the school.
So they actually did show up. So
Yeah,
it was wow, eh?
Yeah.
They burned the cross and all that?
I don't know. To me, it was so new, and I didn't really know a lot about the Klan other than seeing them on Geraldo or
I remember that.
or another show that was on TV. I was just like, the Klan, what is it? Is that the Klan dead? You never know. But just rolling through the South, seeing the Confederate flag, not being Canadian, not really knowing the history behind the Confederacy and that kind of stuff, and then again going into these smaller restaurants and seeing everyone having a gun holster, just looking at you funny. And I'm just like, this is different, man.
Yeah,
This
man,
is
it's a whole other world over there.
This
yeah,
is different.
yeah. It's right in your face. It's crazy because there's still parts to this day in the South that are segregated.
100%.
And just by choice. Like, if we don't want to mingle with them, we'll stay on the black side. The white will stay on the white side. And it's just crazy that still exists in 2022.
But I'll say this: I rather encounter that in-your-face racism than the undertone racism,
bro,
when people try to throw little snippets at you.
If that's who you are, then just let it be. If you're racist, that's cool. I respect that way more than people that are like, like you said, little undertone, little jabs, but then still try to be buddy with you. It's like, I know you're a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
Come on, now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because oftentimes people are like, and I don't even really talk politics like that, but people are like, oh, I hate Donald Trump, I hate him. I don't like him myself, but I appreciate that he used his platform, and it might have benefited him or not benefited him. Doesn't matter. But the amount of racists that he was able to bring to light, that people are like, I didn't know that guy was racist. Oh, I didn't know that guy was racist. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because Trump made him feel comfortable. Hey, I can come out of my skin and tell you exactly how I feel now. It's like he brought the real snakes out.
100%.
So you're right. That's a good take on that for sure. Because, a lot of people wear that mask, man, and act like, my best friend's black. Really, I know what you're saying about that black friend of yours behind his back. You know what I mean? Yeah, craziness, bro.
And the second story was, so there was that story. And then another story, I'm going to school, my first year college, going to school in Florida. My girlfriend at the time was from Oakville, surprisingly. So I'm driving, so my best friend at the time was in Florida staying with me because he was trying to get a scholarship as well. Yeah. And we're driving her car, and we're probably a mile from campus because we had a gated community where we lived. Okay. It was locked off to the public. You had to go through security, all that stuff. So we're about a mile or 2 miles away from getting back to our dorms, and we got pulled over by the police officers. We weren't doing anything at all. So I pull over right away, and it's different in the South. Like, they see two black guys, it's out-of-state plates. They're just like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh, I go to school over here. Well, what are you doing out? Went to go get food. Why? I don't know, we're hungry. He's like, well, we have legitimate information that a car out of state with two black guys were doing a drug drop off in this neighborhood. Get the fuck out of here. And honestly, at the time, I'm not educated enough, nor do I want to even get in a conflict with these police officers, because that time, just like current time now, like, police shootings were on the rise, especially Southern Florida at that time. It was on fire. Wow. With the amount of people.
So you just want to just
I didn't even want to do anything. I'm just like, oh, you know what? Do what you got to do. He's like, get out of the car. So then now it's one police officer. He calls for backup. 2, 3, 4, 5 other cars come.
So it's a whole scene now.
And we're on kind of like a within like a, I guess you would call it like a cul-de-sac. So everyone now, because the lights are going crazy, everyone's looking out their blinds, like, what the hell's going on? It's just me and we're not handcuffed or anything. We're just sitting there, and he's like, I got to call in the dogs to check this car. And I'm like, are you serious?
Come on, man, what are you doing?
Calls in the dogs. The dogs go sniffing around the car. Then he calls in the helicopter.
For what?
So I don't know.
You're right there. What do you do?
So the helicopter's flying around over the scene, and I'm like, yo, are we going to jail or are we going to die right now?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, what? And the thing is, we weren't doing anything wrong, but the only thought that was going through my head is, why did we go out? Like, why did we go out?
Yeah.
I'm like, we could have made food at home. Like, we wanted to go out and get some Philly cheesesteaks. I'm like, why did we leave this complex, man?
But you could never would have foreseen that happen.
No, not at all.
Just to get some meal, and the choppers would be out looking for you. You never thought.
So then, right, like probably 15 minutes later, nothing is said other than, yep, you guys are free to go. And all the cars pull off.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Think about all the time and resources they wasted just for that, for routine stuff, and they get nothing out of it. Just because you know there's some racial undertones to it. That's all. Yeah. That's madness,
It was madness.
Oh, my God.
And it was crazy, too, because fast forward a year after, or probably like a year or two after that, I'm with my girlfriend at the time back in Hamilton. No, sorry, this is before that. So this is back in high school. My girlfriend at the time allowed me to use her car to go to like I think we went to Mapleview. So it was myself and 3 other black guys go to Mapleview. So my friend had to go exchange his shoes. So we get back to the car, and he opens the box up. I'm like, oh, those are nice shoes. And I'm like, put them in the trunk. So he opens the trunk, My other friend is like, let me see the shoes. He comes out, the trunk's open, so he shows him the shoes in the trunk, closes the box, puts the shoes in the trunk, closes the trunk. We get in the car, we start to drive back to Hamilton because we all went to Cathedral.
Okay.
So there's a little like, if you ever see like Maple View, sometimes like when you come out the back, you can go around and it puts you out on Fairview.
Okay.
So we're going around the roundabout, undercover cops pull us over.
Okay.
So I pull over and I'm already like worried. I'm like, damn.
You were driving?
I was driving.
Okay.
I was driving my girlfriend's dad's car.
Got it. Okay.
So I probably should. He was cool. I was cool with him, but like probably didn't know I had the car.
Yeah.
Because she had a class, so I just took the car because I had to make a quick run to Mapleview.
Yeah.
So the cop pulls me over. He's like, whose car is this? I'm like, oh, it's so and so's. I'm just driving it. He's like, oh, does he know? I'm like, yeah, he knows. It's cool. He's like, yeah, we have valid information that 4 black guys were stealing shoes out of the mall. So my best friend at the time, his brother is high on the police force in Toronto.
Okay.
So he's like, where'd you get this info from?
Yeah.
He's like, and he pipes up, he's like, oh, mall security told us. He's like, I need you guys to open the trunk. Yeah. So me, I don't know anything really, because I'm 17 at the time. Mm-hmm. I start to go back, and my friend's like, don't open that trunk.
Okay.
And then the police officer...
And you're thinking like, what?
Yeah, the police officer's like, no, open that trunk. He's like, what's your badge number? And I'm like, what's going on here? So then I sat back, so now the two of them are having this interaction.
Okay.
And the cop's like, excuse me? He's like, what's your badge number? He's like, why do you need my badge number? He's like, because I'm going to report you. This is completely invalid what you're doing right now.
See, cops are used to that, knowing your rights.
So he's like, how do you know all this? He's like, my brother's whatever in the Toronto Police Force. Yeah. He's like, what's his name? Gave him his name. He's like, oh, I guess they ran the name. They're like, oh, okay.
He knows him now.
So where you guys play basketball? It completely changed his tone and everything.
Instantly.
and my buddy's like, what's your badge number?
Yeah.
And the police officer's like, listen. We're just trying to do our job. Obviously, you guys aren't doing anything. He's like, no. You guys made it seem that we were stealing.
Yes.
So now it's within our rights to ask you for your badge number and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, guys, we don't need to escalate this anymore.
Oh, now we don't.
And literally, they get in their car and just drive off, like nothing happened.
That's madness.
And at the same time, I just felt so dumb because the people, so we pulled over. He could have pulled us over somewhere else. Yeah. He chose to pull us over where all the traffic is going back and forth. So we're pulled off to the side. And the amount of people that drove past us, because all 4 of us are outside of the car.
Yep. The optic of it,
just exactly. The optic. People were like, just driving by, shaking their head. I'm like,
damn black
get out of here, man.
There you go again. Yep. That is craziness, bro. Oh my God. I've had a few encounters with cops too, man. I remember one time, so one of the previous episodes were talking about, we had the studio that we opened up. Mm-hmm. So once that shut down, we moved all the equipment into my apartment at the time. Mm-hmm. And so it was like a duplex. So I lived underneath another family. Yeah. And they had a little dog, a little yappy dog. Anytime you'd breathe wrong, the dog would start barking and shit. So I went away somewhere. I went somewhere for the day and came back, and the place was broken into. They stole all the equipment.
Oh, wow.
Broad daylight. And there's a big mixing board. It took 3 of us to get it into the house. Wow. So they cleaned it out. So I'm like, okay. It's an inside job. Someone knew, someone who has to know what was there. So I went and asked the other people, knocked on the door. I'm like, hey, did you guys hear anything? They're like, oh, I didn't hear nothing. And I'm like, your dog didn't bark? Oh, no, didn't bark. I'm like, okay, this is very suspect because, like I said, your dog barks at anything, and you would need a crew of people to get all that equipment out of there. They cleaned it out, bro. Yeah. So naturally, I call the police, tell them to come, whatever. They say, okay, we're going to roll a car out there. So in the meantime, me and my homie just said, we're going to walk around and just ask people some stuff if they see anything. So we're going to walk around, hey, did you see anything? Did you see anything? It was like, oh, we see nothing, whatever. Cop car pulls up. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine, they're here. They come out, their guns out. Freeze, get on the ground, on us.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, how's this work? I call the cops and there's guns on me.
Wow.
They cuff us up, throw us in the back of the car, start questioning us. What's going on? We explain them. All of our stories corroborated and make sense. So they let us go. So I'm just like, this is madness. An hour later, another cop car pulls up. It's the one for me. Oh, so we heard that a place got broken into. I'm like, well, yeah, you guys, like an hour later, your homie just had us in cuffs and my place got broken into, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just racial profiling at its finest. It was madness. So obviously someone in the neighborhood complained. They got over their lickety split for that. Yeah. My place gets broken into. They take their time.
Wow.
Madness, bro. And it's crazy. This is going back like early 2000s. This shit hasn't changed.
No,
it's still
never will.
Yeah, never will, sadly. You know what I mean? madness.
Were you ever around? So, oh my God, I don't even know what. So downtown Hamilton. What was the name of that club? It was only up and running maybe 2 years. So what street is that? Okay, let me try to. Do you know where the Lincoln Alexander Center is?
The Lincoln Alexander. Oh, yes, that's Mary and is it King?
King, Mary and King.
King, yeah.
So there was a club in it looked like a storefront, either to the left or right of that. And it was a hip hop club. On that same side.
Ballroom? Not ballroom.
No. Ballroom was way down more.
Okay.
Lion of Judah? Lion of...
I'm drawing blanks. Line of Judah. No, I don't remember that one. And around there, Mary and
Yeah,
King?
man. Yeah. I want to say it was like Lion of Judah.
Okay.
Oh, was it? Leon would know.
100% you would know.
It was right there. Lion of Judah. Was it Lion of Judah? It was like a one-level club. It was in a storefront. It was just like the whole storefront was just wide open, and they just put a DJ in. It was like every Friday and Saturday night. I want to say it was like Lion of Judah.
I don't know. We're gonna.
Okay,
ask
so
him
yeah,
now.
I'm gonna have to ask Leon.
Yeah.
But I remember it was predominantly black club, and down the street was a Scottish or like Irish pub.
Okay.
And I remember I was young. I probably shouldn't have been in there. I was young. I was probably like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Lion of Judah.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they have like a big glass like this. Someone throws a beer ball through the glass. Boom!
Oh shit.
See the guy, white guy, skinhead, bald head. I'm not saying he's a skinhead. Bald head.
Yeah, ball head. Okay.
Goes running back to the pub.
So throw something to the window, runs
Back to the pub.
Okay.
So now there's, I'm not even gonna name names, but all the older like black guys, you know all of them. They all come out of the club, and literally, it was like a racial war, man.
For real.
All the guys come out of the pub, and it was just on.
It was like actual scrap, or just
Oh no! Everyone's fighting in the street.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, to see it happen right in front of me, I was like, why is it taking so long for the police to get here? And the police station is right there.
It's right there on King William.
Yeah. Traffic stopped. It must have been like 12:30, 1 a.m. And
That's
everyone's just
craziness.
brawling in the street. I'm like, yo,
Wow.
guys are like trying to get to us, like me and like a couple of the other my buddies were young. We're trying to like get away. I'm like, do we stay and like help?
Yeah, what do we do? Yeah.
And I just remember this one big guy grabbed my friend, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And my friend like got free, and the guy fell down on the ground, and he was on all fours. As he was getting up, another guy, I can't even mention his name right now, runs by and soccer kicks this guy right in his face. And I'm like, and I just remember the guy just went like boom, he's like falling on his back, blood coming out of everywhere. I'm like, yo, we got to go.
Yeah, we
And
gotta
then
get out of here, man.
Yeah, we just ran. We were just running any direction. We ended up at like Corktown Park. We just ran full speed.
That's a few blocks away, too.
And then all I hear is just like the sirens going. I'm like, wow.
You got it just in time, man.
Yeah, I've never been part of like a racial like full outburst. It was literally black on white, just
yeah.
For I don't know. I'm almost positive the club was Lion of Judah.
Yeah.
I think it was Lion of Judah. It wasn't.
I think I know.
It wasn't running that long, man.
So the Lincoln Alexander's here. There's like a dollar store or something here.
Yeah.
And then there's a parking lot. Is it the one that's right beside that?
It would have been back towards Wellington.
Okay, this has to be what I'm thinking about now. It's like a cafe or something now.
Jet Cafe.
Jet Cafe.
It might have been right there.
Yes, what was it? Okay, I know the spot now.
I'm pretty sure it was called Lion of Judah.
Okay, you're right. And it was like a narrow kind of spot.
And pure like big Budmunders is going there on like a Friday night.
Yes, okay. I remember this now. Yo, it took a minute to piece that together.
Yeah, Lion of Judah.
Wow.
I just remember they smashed the window, and then everyone just cleared the club. Everyone cleared the pub, and it was just like
it was on.
Like both sides just ran. Like it was madness, man. Like just ran to each other.
Like it was planned.
Yeah, it was madness.
Wow. That's all because homie threw the thing through the window. I'm sure. Like, they instigated it.
Because if you walk down the street at nighttime, the pub and the club ran at the same time, and the music was so deafening in both. So it was kind of like just like a clash.
Sound clash.
Yeah. And I was just like, yo, it was madness, man.
Oh man, the good old days, bro.
Line of Judah.
Line of Judah. That's it. Oh, I almost forgot that shit was important.